Okay, welcome back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at our first solution. And the first solution we're going to use is going to use a recursive form, is going to use a recursive check to actually check that the number we've given n is actually a power of what? Of 2. So the first thing that this is how our code will actually work, is that it will take the input n and check if that input is equal to 1. Now, if it's equal to 1, it will what? Return true. This is because 1 is considered a power of what? 2. Now, if the input n is less than 1, the function will return false. This is because any number less than 1 cannot be what? Cannot be a power of what? Of 2. So basically what that means is that our function will keep calling it what? Calling itself, and it will keep dividing the value, our number, by what? By 2, until that number is actually what? Divided onto the last what? Onto the last value, or the least value. Now, if that least value is equal to what? Is equal to 1, we know that that number is a what? The value n, the number n is actually a power of what? Of 2. Now, if that value n is less than what? 1, if it's 0, we know that that value cannot be a what? The power of what? 2. So let's actually go through the process of writing our code. And the first thing we want to do is check a conditional to say if n is equal to 1. Now, what we want to do, if this is true, is to what? Is to what? Return true. What we want to do, if this is true, it's simply return true. Now, we also want to check the conditional to see if n is what? Is less than 1 at any point in time. We would not say if n is less than 1, it should do what? It should return false. Now, remember that this is a recursive function that we're writing. So basically, the function should call itself. So basically, outside of this if statement, we're going to say it should return the value of its power of 2. Basically, we're calling the function inside of the what? Inside of the function. Now, a recursive function, recursion is when a function calls itself. So we want to divide the value of n by 2 and let what? And let this block of code keep running for each time what? Our value is divided by 2. So we're going to say n divided by 2. So this is our first solution. Now we're going to test our code to actually see how fast our code runs, and if our code, just to see how fast our code runs and if it actually works. So we're just going to go and just click test. And we can see that our code actually runs and it actually works. And the time it took to run is 1039 milliseconds. Okay, and all tests are passed. So what we're actually trying to do here is see the difference between two different ways of actually solving this problem. So the first code runs in 1039 millisecond, and I'm just going to write it here. Just write it here. 1039 for the first one. Now we'll go ahead and look at the second method to actually solve this problem.